Before the match, you said a draw or anything other than a win is no good for Juventus today. Is that still the case, or do you think they were lucky to get a point in some ways?
I think they played good enough to get a point for sure. 10 shots on target. They created a bunch of chances. They looked good in possession. But still, it's like they're still being nursed, right? We spoke to Giorgio Chiellini and Alessandro Del Piero before the game. And we know that this is not their Juve, right? The Juve that was scary to play against, that would dominate games but in all facets of the game. It was a Juve that's a little bit weaker, that is clear as day. There's personnel that it probably needs to be changed, and there's tactics that probably need to be changed. They still haven't fixed these transitional moments that we saw against Inter, Borussia Dortmund, and then again today, which is hurting them. So, interesting game for sure. I thought the draw was fair.
I have to say that for me, Juventus, we see the same old problems. It's getting exposed on the counterattack. They could lack creativity. Just because you have possession doesn't mean that you're going to win football matches. So it's a lot of the same problems that I saw. And I still think Tudor's selections before the game, well, we mentioned it, the team is very unbalanced, especially in the midfield with his chances. To give credit to Atalanta, I was very impressed with their approach. Even if they didn't always have the ball, they had so many moments that they could have been dangerous. They were the ones that I think interpreted the game in an even better way. And they continue this record of not allowing Juventus to win at home since 2018. We mentioned this weird stat. It's now a second coach. It's not just Gasperini. It's not just pressing you aggressively. I thought they were very intelligent the way they were picking up balls for Juventus. So credit to Juric and credit to Atalanta. They started the season very poorly in the Serie A, but it feels like they've gone back on track.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised with Tudor. You guys touched on it, right? The selections here. He clearly doesn't know who his best number 9 is, right? And I know it's been a little bit up and down with Vlahovic starting off really, really well, but he has a history of not scoring goals. I can't see a world in where Weston McKennie doesn't fit into this 11 somehow, but when he's playing with 4 in the midfield like he does, that 3-4-2-1, I'm looking at which is his best position. Is it out left? Is it in the middle of the field? Koopmeiners can't figure him out right now.
Who?
Koopmeiners.
Where was he all day?
Yeah, but I'm thinking more long term, right? Where how he fits in the midfield. We have this vision of him really good with the ball when he was at Atalanta, getting forward. He's playing deeper. Like I feel like guys who get older, like they drop a little bit deeper because they want to see the game, and that's not the way Juventus plays. So I don't know that Tudor has figured out who his best 11 are.
And it's a bit of a statement, isn't it, as well, Grella, to be down for a large period of the game against Atalanta, to make 5 changes, and for Jonathan David, your new star striker, to not be one of them?
Yeah, cold shoulder he's getting right now at Juventus. He's come in, he's played, 1 or 2 games from the start, comes on, he scores a goal. He was not poor. He was definitely not the guy that jumped off the page and said, okay, this is my spot, and it was a no-brainer. Tudor doesn't know if it's Vlahovic, if it's Openda, if it's Jonathan David. But when you're down at home, 63rd minute, I've been in that situation, and you're the striker, and they just signed you, and you haven't been that poor, and they look right past you down the bench, make 5 subs like you just say, and they don't pick on you. Obviously, it's not a good feeling for him on a personal level, but also it means that Tudor doesn't have any faith in him or any trust in him in a project that just only begun. It seems like it's almost already over. But we'll see. Plenty of games. No one's taking that spot. Openda was not good today. Vlahovic was not good when he came on either. So no one's really taking the spot. We'll see if Jonathan David gets another one coming up.
So 1-1, it finishes. Here's just a reminder. The match stats, Juventus, they had 6 shots on target, 15 shots overall, the majority of the possession as well. But in the end, they'll have to settle for just a point. Nigel Reo-Coker and Alessandro Del Piero, they're pitch side for us today. And here is Nigel with Atalanta's Mario Pasalic.
Pasalic, very tough game today against Juventus. How do you feel after that?
Yeah, we got a 1 point, even if we were leading almost the full second half. We suffered a little bit at the beginning of the game, and then we scored in a perfect moment before the halftime. And at the end we have to be happy with this 1 point. We are still unbeaten in the Serie A, so let's keep going.
Are you disappointed that you guys didn't take all 3 points? Because it seemed like the tactics and the game plan worked for the majority of the game. You guys were the better team, won the individual one-on-one battles.
Yeah, as I said, we were leading, we were in a good shape, but at the end we got that goal. We also have to be honest and said that they also had some chances. They created some chances as well as we did. So it's as I said, let's take this point and let's moving forward to the next games.
A lot of positives can be taken from this game. Is it just the undefeated run that's the biggest thing?
Yeah, of course. We are still unbeaten in the Serie A, and we keep going. We keep hard work. It's a new beginning for us with the new coach, new things, and we still have to adapt on some things. And I think we are doing pretty well as it is still the beginning of the season. So let's keep going.
Is it a good united dressing room that you guys have with a performance like that?
It is because we have a lot of experienced players who are here for many years. Also a lot of young players, so it's a nice mix of players, and it's a nice group of people.
Well done on today's game.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good start under Yivan Juric. I can't take Nigel seriously as a sideline reporter. It's so
He's good at asking
interesting
questions,
to see him, though, isn't it, pitch side with the players. Here's just a reminder of how Atalanta have started this season in Serie A. It's been pretty good, hasn't it? The 2 draws at the beginning of the season, maybe a little bit underwhelming, but the last 2, the only real blip is that 4-0 loss to PSG in the Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see even from Pasalic what he said after the game, that they're happy that they're unbeaten. And remarkably, there's only been 2 times in the last 16 years that they've remained unbeaten after 5 matches, 2022, 2023, and this season. So in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty amazing. And I think if you watch some of those matches, you could see where they were unlucky in certain cases. I just love that the fact that Juric, he's not tried to change too much. He's not tried to revolutionize things, which I think would not be a smart thing for a new coach to come. But he's also been willing to adapt, and he's been willing to change the style of play. The fact that they're able to start scoring goals now, we have to get out of our head what Atalanta was of the past. It's a new look Atalanta, and I probably learned more about Atalanta tonight than I did about Juventus.
What did you make of that match, Nige?
I'll let the legend start. This is his home. So what did you think, Del Piero?
I think we saw 2 strong teams, pretty tired from the Champions League week. This is my feeling. First half, definitely Juve much better, even though they consider a goal at the last minute, but much better in possession and how they turned the ball and with energy as well. But they drop at the beginning of the second half, and then Atalanta generally. Very tired, with less personality than the year before, with missing the Catalara and Lukman that give them a lot of much more opportunity and chances. The Catalara came in the second half, in the middle of the second half. So it's a team that Juric is building up a little bit and changing a little bit from last year, because when you come from that many years with the same coach, it's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next, right? So, yeah.
I think for me with Atalanta, we know what they are. We saw that in how they played when they went man for man, and nothing's really changed too much yet. We're still lacking some personnel, like Alessandro said there. I think with Juventus, it's a bit of not a worry for me, but it's still trying to see what they are. I talk about Yildiz and how much of a good player he is, and I think for me today he had a decent game again today. But it's a little bit of a worry for me where they're becoming a bit too heavily reliant on him. It's like every time he gets the ball, other players just kind of sit back a bit to say, okay, you do something great because he's on form right now. But I think that I'd probably say I didn't learn too much, nothing new about Atalanta, but there's still a few questions more so about Juventus.
Yeah, it was another 90 minutes for me watching Coop Miners play hide and seek with the football. But what did you think of Openda's performance, you two?
Openda, it's funny because I was asking Alessandro at half-time. I said to him that Openda, for me, didn't try to go in behind enough. Like, he made it too easy for the defenders because he's just always showing to feet and playing in front of the defender. And nothing's better than when you play as a defender that a striker just wants to stay in front of you. You can see the whole game in front of you, and you can see the striker. If you want to make it hard for a defender, you've got to play off their shoulder, make them be looking to see. No defender wants to run that way. I just don't feel that they went direct enough. And compared to Atalanta, when they played deep, they were willing to go direct in that first half. They were happy to sit deep and defend, but they weren't scared to go in behind Juventus.
Nigel, how was your experience like? First time at a Serie A match, you're there with Alessandro Del Piero.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Fantastic. I mean, it gets no better than this, innit? This is footballing royalty in his own city. There's still fans there waiting to get his attention, and they call him El Capitana. So, you know what I mean? 2 captains there. Natural-born leaders.
How does it differ from the reception you get when you go back to watch a West Ham game?
Yeah, I don't get his reception. I get booed. I get booed. I get, what are you doing there? I get tomatoes thrown at me. But you know, I mean, it would be nice to get this kind of reception, but I know it's never going to happen.
I'm going to come to you, okay? I'm going to come to you and watch the game.
Do you know
together.
what? Nothing's better than being able to stand next to this legend and have the respect of him. So that's all that matters. They can boo me, all 60,000 can boo me all they like, but I've got the respect of this guy, so that's all right.
Hey, Alessandro, I want to come back to Yildiz and maybe a point that Nigel talked about, you know, being a guy that clearly he has talent, right? We can see the talent, but is the next step for him as a number 10 trying to get other players involved in the match a little bit more?
Well, we are keeping up expecting a lot from a guy that is just turned 20 years old. I mean, very young. I mean, so he's playing for Juve for already a while. He's wearing number 10. Okay, he took the extra responsibility when he was a teenager. That's, for my opinion, is a great thing. Show me personality, and he's deciding some games with his plays. But the other teammates, they need to know that he's still very, very young because he's carrying on a lot of things on his shoulder. So you need to share that weight between teammates. You know, we were talking about Kudmaiers, yes. When you see your teammates that is struggling, you need to help him. You need to go and close to him. You know, to help him in many ways, inside the field as well. Outside the field, for sure, they're going to do it outside the field. But inside the field, I'm going to be the first one helping you if you go down. I'm going to be on your side if something happens. So those kind of things created that chemistry and that energy that you are talking about. It's not only because you're wearing number 10, but it's because you're playing for your team and your teammates.
It's protecting him, Tony. I think that's the other teammates have to do. You have to protect him because you already know he's young, he's very talented, he's going to be your match winner, but at times you have to protect him. And you don't have to be the best player to do that. You know, it brings back to my playing days when we had a special player, Yossi Benayoun. He was our magician. If anyone tackled him hard, I'll always say, all right, I'm going to tackle him hard for you. And you'd protect him when he goes down and make sure no one tries to mess with him. It's very similar for Yildiz.